of Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to your 8-card draw. What do I need read for this full moon in Gemini to new moon in Capricorn, December 2022. What a mouthful, but I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons. Mal for short. They are my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, 24 and a half years in service. Self-employed as the president. A lot of fun along the way. I am the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle. There's a link in the description box. You can preview it for free. There's also links in the description box down there because I'm a creator on Patreon, patreon.com/drawingthecircle. Lovely subscription platform that you can do a lot of cool stuff with. And I'm doing a lot of cool stuff over there. 1 year on Patreon. We just crossed that finish line. I'm very, very happy that we have. Every morning, all of my subscribers, regardless of subscription level, get to see me and chat with me with an unlisted YouTube live stream link talking about the day's astrological weather, magical applications, spiritual implications, a little prayer, a little blessing, a little meditation, a little something to send us on our way. It is my favorite way to start the day, and I'll say this over and over. I mean it, even though it rhymes. And yeah, all of my subscribers also get all the extended readings that I've done, past, present, and into the future. Part 1 on YouTube, Part 2 on Vimeo on demand. Love it when people pay per view, but all of them, all of my subscribers can get access to them. My bottom tier, if you want to call it that, is Seeker. Seeker is $3 a month. You get the dailies, check-ins, and the extended readings, and then it just builds up from there all the way to God Goddess at the top tier, number 8, that gets everything. So go check it out. Trust me, I wouldn't lie about this. I love it so much, and I'm having a field day over there doing what I came into this lifetime to do. So if you want the deeper dive, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come Patreon on Patreon, because I am the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. Hey, my fellow Leonines, I am Mars conjunct Leo rising. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. Otherwise, I'm Virgo Sun and a Pisces Moon, and it wouldn't be happening. I would be hermit 24/7, 365, but very, very happy to be here and help and serve to the best of my ability. If you are new to the channel, however, I have to do this for the new people. An 8-card draw is just 1 card from 8 different decks, giving you clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological timeline. In this case, a waning moon timeline from full to new December 2022. Let's have a look. A 2-week period. The full moon in Gemini, Wednesday, December 7th, 11:08 p.m. Eastern. I'm in New York. But just think about that. Gemini ruled by Mercury on Wednesday, the day of Mercury. Mercredi, mon ami. Just cracks me up to say that. Sounding more and more like David Suchet's Hercule Poirot, but I'm okay with that. And in that 2-week period, we will also cross into winter. Yule, winter solstice is on the 21st. The sun goes into Capricorn, and just but a few days later, not only is it new moon in Capricorn on Friday, December 23rd, great day for planting a seed of love magic in some way, shape, or form for long-term highest potential, 5:17 a.m. Wake up in that. That sounds delicious. But it's also the day before Christmas Eve, and Chiron goes direct. The wounded healer goes direct in Aries. Oh, that should be fun. Talk about inner child healing in the last 3 days before the new moon, which is called dark moon, which is why I think these shadow reads might be a little bit more helpful this time, considering what the inner child can do around the holidays if it didn't get what it wanted and get its way, particularly fire signs. And like I said, I'm Mars conjunct Leo rising. So look, it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. You may have 4 different areas of your life where you need to release, surrender, Dorothy, right? Transform. Alchemy is the language I prefer, the language of spiritual alchemy, from lead to gold. Lead having 3 more atoms than gold on the periodic table. I'm going to use that language pretty much throughout to release, let go. But remember, those atoms cannot be created or destroyed, only changed or transformed. And certainly, if you're doing shadow work, you know that. And if you're new to shadow work, emotional process healing, all sorts of different venues and points of view and entry points into that. There's a bunch of links in the description box, a little category down there, related videos for deeper study or something like that. So check it out. There's a lot in there worth looking at. Oh yeah, and cross-watchers. If you apply this to yourself, you will release, you will heal, you will alchemize from lead to gold. Or maybe you'll just have a deeper understanding of what the Leo you are cross-watching for is going through, and therefore could be supportive and sympathetic. But I will say, if you apply this to yourself, cross-watcher, you will be helping them do that well through the holographic healing of unity, chakras, and all that. But Leos, you do this for yourself. You're helping the entire Leo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs do this as well. So, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath, if you will, and I will do my best to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace to help shift you to more golden timelines. Because every time you make a golden choice rather than a leaded choice, a loving rather than fearful, on and on and on, you shift not just yourself to a more happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser timeline, but take the whole planet with you. I know, it's the quantum stuff. Please don't make me do math, but please take a nice deep breath. Because the shift from explanation to divination seems to happen in the still point. And here we go. This feels a little serious. Okay. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine using the Caroline Myss archetype cards, the pantheons of the divine for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers. Watching this video and receiving this reading, please, what is the dominant 8th chakra hovering over their heads? Sending down the codes, the patterns, the lessons to all of the chakras underneath it, shifting their electromagnetic dynamics, which suddenly became tricky to say, right? What they attract, what they repel, all the 7 chakras underneath it. Show us the alchemy, the shadow work, what's indicated. They can have this archetype a reason, a season, or a lifetime, or be dealing with a person or a situation where this is dominant, but it's still their part of the lesson. So what do you got for them 8th chakra archetype? This full to new December 2022. Magical child, one of the child archetypes. Let's get into this. I'll read what's on the card in a minute, but know that the child archetype is one of the 4 survival family archetypes. Everybody has the child, some aspect of it, the victim victor, the saboteur empower, and the prostitute archetype. But I promise the prostitute archetype has very little to do with sex work, but it's not on the table. So check out another one where it is. That's a good way to say it. So written on the card is the shadow attribute and the light attribute, the lead, the gold, which you don't want to deal with, don't want to look at. If you are dealing with it and look at it, you don't want anybody to know. Most likely the light, what you're shooting for, and if you're seeing what we're about to talk about in the shadow in the world, because what we do in the shadows, then imagine you shifting that for not just yourself, for everybody. So let's dive in. The shadow attribute, or the lead of the magical child: pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. Been there, done that, have the magical archetype, the magical child archetype since birth. Well, it's a survival. Read Sacred Contract. She'll explain it. Caroline Myss, MYSS, PhD. These are her cards. She'll explain it better than I can. And there are links in the description box. The light attribute, the gold hidden within the lead, but you can't see it unless you do the alchemy, just like Superman can't because it's lead. Duh. Light attribute, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. So everybody has the child archetype, but not everybody necessarily has the magical child archetype. So I want you to think Harry Potter, right? So many just rushing into my head. I mean, my goodness gracious, Wednesday Addams. And the moment I heard Goo Goo Muck, I screamed one of my best friend's names from college so loud because we were the only 2 people in Boston, felt like, who knew that song. You know, it is that magical child, but definitely she's more on the shadow side, one might think. Love her. She did an amazing job. And that's how I dance, by the way, every morning. Whatever, let's move on. We know that that's sending down survival archetype, regardless of the subpattern. The child is about safety and innocence, because if the child feels safe, it can see the world through fresh, clean eyes and new beginnings and all of that. But if the child doesn't feel safe, it goes into pain and the brat, right? The childish rather than childlike. Let's get the next 4 chakras down. The internal world, the yin dynamic, the feminine energy, the goddess energy. That's why we're doing the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, my favorite tarot deck since I'm 19 years old, and I am 54, and why is? I know, I don't look it. Thanks. Well, you know, prayer, meditation, forgiveness, the goddess Lancome and Neutrogenia. So let's see what the goddesses have to say. Heart, third eye crown, internal dynamic. Please take a nice deep breath. He said with a question mark. Still point. As I call upon my goddesses of fire. Sign of Leo. Powers of the South, please, beloved goddesses of fixed fire. 1 card in clarity for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. What's going on in the world behind their eyes, their psychological world, their personal world that they may or may not share with everybody or anybody at any given time. But this is where we have the free will, throat chakra, to do the healing or not, right? To delay what cannot be prevented. And how many times do we want to keep coming back to learn these lessons incarnationally? So please, 1 card in clarity for the Leo collective and the cross watchers. What do they need to be aware of inside this full to new December 2022? It looks like you are taking a bit of a retreat, at least emotionally, into your own heart chakra, because you got the 8 of Cups. Not so much walking away, as we hear all the time with the 8 of Cups in the tarot, minor arcana, but this is a woman who rowed a boat holding a torch, which ain't easy, I can only imagine, not that I've had to do it, following a trail of cups, 8 of them, some of them standing, some of them spilled, to what? To go into that cave, to withdraw. So it's not walking away from, it's withdrawing within, and I would say this would be heart chakra dominant. Spiritual, mental, willpower, that's where you choose. Emotional power, this could absolutely be a magical child pulling in, doing shadow work to find that 9th cup, which is that emotional balance within the self that's not dependent upon what anybody else is doing, and then another cup comes along and you're at the 10. So that's good. That's perfect for shadow work. I mean, it's not hibernation necessarily. We'll see what's going on in the next tarot card that hits. But I would say 8 of Cups, that withdrawal, pulling in emotionally, feeling the feelings that got to be felt, but whether or not you share this with people is another story. You know, family and friends is one thing, but, you know, counselors, therapists, confidential, spiritual conversations with people certainly may not be off the table here, but there's definitely this feeling of withdrawing into your own heart. But because this is a shadow read, it's most likely to embrace the shadow, love the parts of you that are screaming or crying for love, because only we can do that for ourselves. People can pour love at us. If we won't let them get to those places, only we can do that. Just saying. Willpower, choices, choices. Thank you. Let's get the lower 3 chakras, the masculine energy. Stepping out of yourself, seeing yourself horizontally from the outside in, or you from the inside out, looking at different people's places and things, because the yang dynamic is certainly about relationships in the physical world. So, solar plexus, your relationship to yourself, your self-esteem as a verb, your self-image as a noun, your honor code, your boundaries, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't, your gut intuition that tells you when you're about to cross a line you really ought not cross. Second chakra, one-on-one relationships, money, sex, and power, as well as relationships to other individuals. Root chakra, physical world, physical body, grounding and all that stuff, but also tribal relationships, 3 or more, in which you find yourself. It is a tribe, down to your small circle of friends, to the national, right, national tribe, planetary tribe, your ancestral, your star seeds, all that inside of fries. Let's see what hits the table. Please take a nice deep breath. I say it so many times, it just flows, don't it? Still point. This feels really nice. As I call upon my gods of fire, sign of Leo, powers of the South, beloved gods of fixed fire, please. One card in clarity for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs, and cross watchers watching this video. And receiving this reading, lower 3 chakra dynamic, the yang, that was fast. The masculine energy, lower 3 chakra relationships in the world for the Leo and the cross watchers, this full to new. December 22, you got the 2 of Swords here. Now, 2 of Swords, a lot of people call an indecision card. And I understand that. But a decision is usually about what you want, element of fire. So this feels like being caught, like the vibe on this card feels like being caught between 2 different people's opinions. Like, I can imagine, like, particularly Leo saying, I don't want to do this anymore, pulling back to heal and see what they may not be seeing here. Certainly, the 2 of Swords is a choice card. All the 2s are different types of choices, not necessarily life-changing decisions, but the 2 of Swords can also be about analysis, trying to see both sides of a situation. And if there was a chakra involved here, I mean, it could be all 3, but there is something that's resonating a little second chakra here. Maybe you in a communication or, I mean, I guess could be an argument, though that tends to be more the 5s, but maybe stuck between a little bit of a rock and a hard place in terms of 2 contrasting thoughts. Now, if you're in the lead side of this, right, you know, in the shadow side of it, and it does that, and that's okay, but that's one of them voices calling out to be loved and healed. But from that place of seeing, right, the sacred beauty in all things, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, and that can be a back and forth thing, so to speak, a back and forth process that the 2 of Swords, like fencing, I guess that means fencing for me, that would be that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Could also be you from the outside looking in, sort of like bouncing something around in your head, hence the need to withdraw to find that 9th cup. The 2 tarot decks that are on the table have been drawn from. Everything else is healing systems and oracles, and we got a healing system. Carolyn Mace archetype cards is a healing system. But the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn is incredibly powerful. I highly recommend it for both shadow work and manifestational healing work, whatever you want to call it. Particularly for the magical child. They're like magical words. Play with it. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. All right, I call upon the Ascended Masters of Survival, because it's a survival family archetype. And to clarify, that can be physical survival, mental survival, emotional survival, spiritual survival, magical survival, mystical survival. Please, beloved ones, 1 card in clarity, the perfect healing mantra to click this into place, to help bring it into alignment, to help them heal, grow, learn, evolve, do the shadow work, and clear out that lead, bringing them gold to alchemize the magical child in the 8th, 8 of Cups on the inner, withdrawal, 2 of Swords on the outer, this full to new December 2022. Invoking self-realization, each breath confirms how awake I already am. This could take a while. I will try to be brief. I do so much breath work in a day. I really think that's why I don't look my age. I started doing the Wim Hof breath like before the pandemic, which is sort of amazing. Somehow the guides got me to do that, strengthening my respiratory system, but it is really transforming. I was doing rebirthing back in the 80s, right? I've worked with process healers, all this stuff. This is why I know what shadow work is. But certainly breath work with the 2 of Swords on the outer, you could actually do, I mean, magical breathwork is a thing. It's the element of air. It's the power of air. Right. Element of air, powers of the East, Archangel Raphael. You know, there's a lot, but it's the mental realm. So each breath confirming how awake you already are, invoking self-realization, not what other people are doing. And wouldn't that make sense with the 8 of Cups on the inner? Into the heart. That's what happens when you wear weapon jewelry all day long. You know the second the camera's off, I'm like, oh, they get really hot. Well, you know, look what they're on. Sorry. I can't take myself that seriously, and I have to crack myself up. Keeps me sane, I think. Invoking self-realization. Let's see what Matt Kahn has to say. Each breath confirms how awake I already am. Thank you very much. Self-realization is a spontaneous remembrance of your interconnection to all that is. Now there's a magical child for you there, experiencing unity and oneness, and the infinite sacred beauty in all things. You are willing to embrace your individuality as a unique expression of source in physical form. Yeah, there is nobody else like you. Your nervous system alone is radically different from everybody else's, let alone your past life schemata history. What does that resume look like? What are your reincarnational skills at the bottom of the page, right? By aligning with the breath, you see that while you appear to be a person, it is the universe that breathes everything into existence. And I have had that experience more times than I can count. It's not an everyday thing. But you do realize, okay, I'm focusing on my breath, but I'm not trying to make myself breathe. The universe is actually breathing in and out of me. This mantra is ideal for reducing stress, managing pain, and relaxing the nervous system, which certainly someone would do. Right, but it's your choice. I don't think you've made this choice yet. I think that it's completely viable. And how you tell people if you're doing that, if you tell people you're doing that. In other words, you don't have to jump into the future with this. You can just be like, all right, let me just breathe. Just keep breathing. It's okay. Each breath, if I'm aware of my breath, that means I am awake in the present moment. I am here and now. I'm not in the past. I'm not in the future. And your chances of getting clarity emotionally and mentally is much better at that point. Just saying. And I didn't come up with that. Leonard Orr, Sandra Ray, on and on. Wim Hof. I do Wim Hof and Ho'oponopono, so I just call it Wim Ho. I'm into it. Okay, so invoking self-realization, I'm going to say the element of air with the breath indicated here. Box breath, whatever you want to learn. So many great apps out there, although I've been teaching that stuff for quite a long time. Come check it, come plagiarize on Patreon. Not kidding. But now let's see if the party doth turneth with the Whispers of Love Oracle by Angelo Hartfield. We're going to be using her Whispers of Lord Ganesh, the Hindu elephant-headed god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, to help with the alchemy, removing those three atoms. Otherwise, lead would be gold. Yeah, I think I said that right. Yeah, who cares? Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Here we go. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what is the whisper of love for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs, and cross watchers? Watching this video, receiving this reading, the piece of information, inspiration, insight they need from their higher selves to alchemize the magical child archetype in the 8th, withdrawal on the inner, 2 of swords on the outer, invoking self-realization, their breath, confirming how awake they already are this full to new December 2022. Love endures. Okay. We'll talk about that in a second. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So look, whatever this choice is, it could be, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be here, right? Yes or no, fast or slow. Make it easy for you to decide before you go. Particularly with that 8 of Cups, go in. Confirm, right, how awake you already are, particularly if you're in the process of spiritually awakening, which everybody is, but not a lot of people know about. So that thing of love is what's going to get you through this. Yes, love. Love will keep you together. And of course, for that magical child with that open, radiant, golden heart, seeing the sacred beauty in all things is beautiful, and the infinite potential of what can be done. you know, when you get to the still point, zero limits, right? I forget what Deepak Chopra calls it, right? But there's so many different ways throughout history, contemporary as well as classic and ancient, that speak of that unity and that oneness and that field of infinite possibilities. And it's part of the whole quantum science thing. Again, it's mathy. Don't make me do math. But to get that, if you can just endure this, keep opening your heart little by little, no matter what anybody else, if they are so asleep, if you want to use that language. I try not to use that language. Other people, everybody's has their own timer, like the little bird watcher thermometer. But how hot is the heat gotta get, right? I prefer to do it voluntarily. So if other people around you are not as awake as you are, which chances are if you're watching my channel, that might be the case, it is very, very possible that the love that you have for these people, particularly if they're family members, spouses, friends, whatever, or maybe this is just wholly within yourself. Don't give up and lose faith, but love yourself when you want to be pessimistic, when you're feeling depressed. It's okay. And maybe that's the mantra. If you can't say I love you to that pain or to your own heart, you can go, it's okay. Everybody feels this way. And if you're an empath, whole other story, may not all be yours. Right? 2%, like milk, might be yours. The rest, everybody on the planet who's feeling that right in that present moment, because honestly, that's a thing. So, enduring with love, right? Invoking self-realization, so you don't really need it from anybody else to have these realizations, making something real, your spiritual awakening very real for you. I like it, but we're not done. We've got 3 more cards to go. And one of them is the Divine Animals Oracle, because everybody has spirit animals and totems around them in the pantheon of the animal kingdom. Spirit animals are the spirits of individual animals, like all the dogs that ever played Lassie, those are spirit animals. The totem of the dog is the soul spirit force of every dog that has ever been. In fact, it's where they all come from, right? And they manifest into form or something like that. So since they're around you anyway, you might as well find out who's helping you do shadow work, because there is usually a totemic thing in there. Please take a nice deep breath. And every culture has its totems, they just don't call them that. Still point. As I call upon the spirit animals and totems for the Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading, please, beloved ones of the divine animal kingdom, 1 card in clarity for the Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading, who walks with them, who swims with them, who flies with them, who crawls with them, offering them the love, the wisdom, the power, the guidance, the grace, the support, the protection they need to alchemize the magical child from lead to gold, withdrawal on the inner, 2 swords on the outer, invoking self-realization, and their love enduring this full to new December 2022. You got the otter! It's not just for Chelsea anymore. I don't mean handler, although maybe 2. Transformation. Transformation, the sea otter. I was more referring to the body type of certain men on the planet. I do like an otter if they're playful. Card number 18, Transformation. Oh, it's a silky. Secret of Rowan Inish. If you haven't seen the movie, you'll cry your eyes out if it touches you the way it does me and my mom. Apparently, just a cry all the time at that movie. Really, really good. The Secret of Rowan, R-O-A-N-I-N-S-I-H, I think. What number was that? Number 18. Them fancy letters. I gotta look up close with a magnifying glass to see if it's a 5 or a 3. Oh, I'm being so New Yorky. Bitch, bitch, bitch. Moan, moan, moan. Okay. Well, it is a shadow read, even though I'm doing it Pisces moon waxing. Oh, here we go. Please take a nice deep breath. Sea otter? Love otter. Transformation. Transformation is a true constant if we allow it. That's Tight. I like that. Transformation is a true constant if we allow it. We can change our future and learn from our past. We should only try to transform ourselves, not somebody else, as this is against free will, our element of fire in the throat chakra. Do not judge others too quickly or harshly. Relax a little and rise. Like the sun, our planet, and with that peace, I love otters. They're very Benedict Cumberbatch, don't you think? I'm also going to read you the magical application. In almost every culture that has mythos around otters, they are seen as highly magical, intelligent, and certainly transformational creatures. When you are doing magical workings to transform yourself from one state to another, their energy will be welcome. Otter magic also encourages you to let go of your burdens and be lighter. It is a shadow read, after all. Remember what it is like to float on your back. Tense up and you sink. The more you relax, the higher you rise. Ooh, and with that breath work, whatever you may choose to do, even just noticing your breath a little bit here and there, and a little bit of that mantra as you kind of pull back, and make maybe not just one choice with that Two of Swords, but maybe some consistent ones to really help that magical child in there feel loved, feel safe, so that they can see the sacred beauty and so their love can endure. And of course, that is the very transformation of alchemy we're talking about. I like it. And otters are so much fun. I mean, that would bring me to like instant pure golden magical child across all the sub patterns, all the sub archetypes. And it's like, I've seen videos of people hanging out with friends in a hot tub with otters. I'm like, I don't do that. I really want to do that. My cats would be like, why do you smell that way? I would take a shower, right? Anyway, so loving this. I mean, honestly, this doesn't feel so much like a womp womp as womp womp as it is. It feels like a necessity to kind of pull in and get into your own heart for that eternal love that always endures, the truth of who we are, not all that conditioning and stuff covering it up like clouds across the sun. It's not my metaphor. Don't get too excited. Although I said like, so it's a simile. Shall we? The Whispers of Lord Ganesh. Love this deck. And it just feels wonderful to say the prayer and ask for the card. Because he's lovely. And I've always had a love affair with elephants. Even though, obviously, I am a lion. Nor am I an otter. Please take a nice deep breath. I'm odder than an otter. But in a fun way. Still point. As I call upon the beloved Lord Ganesh, elephant-headed Hindu god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles. I love you so much. I love you so very, very, very much. Please, one card in clarity for us Leo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and our cross-watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. What is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power, your oracle message to help the Leo Collective, the cross-watchers, watching this video, receiving this reading, maybe even given this reading, alchemize the magical child from shadow to light in the 8th with the 8 of Cups on the inner, 2 of Swords on the outer, invoking self-realization. Love endures. Love endures the transformation that they may be going through. So we may be going through. So please, what do you got for us? Help us remove these obstacles. What is your oracle guidance message this full to new December 2022? Wow. Revelation. That's not just vision. Revelation. There's intuition. There is insight. There is intellectual discovery. 2 of Swords could lead to that. But revelation is a bigger deal. By the way, do you know what the ancient Greek word for revelation is? Apocalypse. Not Armageddon, that's the battle, but the actual scenario itself. It means revelation. Hey, it's in the book of Revelations. Thanks, John of Patmos. I heard from experts. Tripping on mushrooms in the Isle of Patmos. But hey, everybody's got their way, right? Card number 15. Could have been ayahuasca. I don't know if it grew in ancient Greece. Might have. I don't know. I'm not botanist. I am witch. Card number 15. Revelation. Oh, I was going to say get ready. What are the first 2 words? Get ready. Breathe in the Ganesh revelation. Get ready for key changes in your external and internal worlds. Oh, you are preparing for something. You have come to the end of a cycle, and it is time for you to create something new. Gee, like a waning moon from full to new. Through this card, Ganesha is indicating that it is time to break down some of the structures that you have created in your world. A waning moon read. What a shock. This has the potential to feel painful and challenging if you resist the process. This revelation coming to you may relate to your ego and your illusion of separateness from others. That's what the ego does. Lost my place. How did I lose my place that easy? Oh, separation from others. You will develop a new perspective on things, and your revelation will help you grow stronger, wiser, and more composed. Now think of that for that magical child of your soul, right? That soul power, the sacred beauty, that belief that anything is possible, that belief in miracles, that's pretty high on the vibe scale. You might encounter some challenges along the way, but these are necessary for your spiritual growth and enlightenment. Honesty will bring about a positive change, even if you experience some pain and anxiety through the process. I mean, look, I'm going to tell you, like I said, Chiron is going direct in Aries, the sign of the child. That could hit us globally, right? Regardless of what planets you may have, the wounded healer and all of that. Well, so wouldn't it make sense that, you know, if you can give that child the space to honestly feel what it's feeling in your heart, and anything, this could be about anything. It's about survival in some way, and certainly with self-realization and revelation. Oh, that's got to be in the title, don't it? Then this is the recipe, right? When you begin to reach for your goal, you will come to realize that your true security and strength lie within yourself and your relationship with the universe, and not in some false belief system or artificially created world, which is the human creation. Be willing to reveal your truth to those around you. Wow. I mean, I wouldn't do that day one, but I would certainly remove the obstacles to the love's presence, as Course in Miracles would say. Because we didn't put up we put up those obstacles, the divine did not. That was our free will, biting the apple, if you will. Well, you get to spit it out if you like, if you want to go biblical. Beginning of book, end of book. Spit out the apple, the Adamic dream. But the transformation that takes place here, yes, there is an emotional component there. And yes, I bet it has been hard. I don't know anybody who has it. I mean, look, I know people with a lot of money, and even they didn't have it easy over the past years with the pandemic and stuff. I mean, depending. I see clients and meet people of all levels of everything. And I've seen a lot of pain and a lot of suffering, but I've also seen a lot of magic miracles and mysticism in terms of healing, because as each one of us does it a little bit, the planet gets a little bit healthier, but that also raises the vibe and kind of boils stuff up for people. So let's get our last card down and see what the hidden blessing is. The gold within the lead of the magical child with the blessed bee. By Lucy Cavendish. It is the hidden blessing, meaning that the blessing's there, but you can't see it because it's still got that lead stuff in it. So do your best. You know, you don't have to cross every T, dot every I, but certainly what's indicated here is more about enlightenment than getting your way, and the child wants to get their way in the shadow, but in the light there is that seeing sacred beauty in all things. So a bit of a trade-off. Please take a nice deep breath. Here we go. As I call upon the pantheons of all pantheons, a delegation, please, for the Leo Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers, watching this video, receiving this reading, every tradition, lineage, and culture, angels, gods, goddesses, saints, whatever, whoever, please, one card in clarity for the Leo Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. What is the lead? Sorry, what is the gold hidden within the lead, the hidden blessing? A little clue, a little tip, a little hint. to keep them going so that they can endure with that invoking self-realization, alchemizing the magical child from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, with withdrawal, 8 of cups on the inner, 2 of swords, making choices, little choices here and there, and invoking self-realization, their breath confirming how awake they already are so their love can endure this transformation with the payoff of revelation, maybe little by little or maybe all at once. What do you got for them, beloved pantheons of all pantheons, all traditions, lineages, and cultures? For the Leo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun, and Cross Watchers is full to new December 2022. A blessing for good work. I love that. As a Leo rising, I love that. Now maybe this is work in the world, but maybe this is work in the inner world. Revelation. Well, it did say that, you know, right? Ganesh said, it's like the thing that you want enough isn't that far away. Let me just read it. Fear, we do these blessings for real because they are blessings. And at the end of me reading this, it will essentially be the end of the reading. But then at the end, the last 2 or 3 minutes, I like to release the collective and the cross watchers by letting myself have a field day and letting the goofy fly out of my mouth. And oftentimes I am more surprised than anybody else at what comes out my mouth. But, you know, keep it sunny, keep it funny, keep it gay. Please take a nice deep breath. Serious first, then funny. Still point. Pantheons of all pantheons, please transmit this blessing. Card number 18, a blessing for good work. A blessing to bring to you work that offers you opportunity to grow the soul, to create and be fulfilled with those who will allow you to develop the talents that lie within you. 5th house, Leo, creativity and good fortune. Each of us longs for work that allows our soul to expand and meet the potential of each day. But we often fall short, feeling our work is mundane and purposeless. Yet we touch people with our words, energy, actions each day, changing lives with the beacon of our smiles and encouragement, even amidst the most ordinary of places. Man, I am all smiles going to pick up the half and half and the coffee at the market around the corner. Absolutely, shining our light. Let there be good work for you. And know that even if your work seems ordinary, nothing is without its blessing. May your soul's luminous radiance light up all the opportunities to do good work and to find satisfaction in the small beauties of each day. May your work, however humble it may seem to be, find its purpose to heal and to help and to expand the abilities you have been so very blessed to receive. May your work reward you with enough in your pocket and skills born new into your world, which you can teach others and share and bring to your own life, enriching the personal with what you do through your working day. May every act of work become a kind of act of devotion, shining on the beauty of your own blessed soul, showing to you the infinite variety of ways we can bring blessings to others. May you find the truth of the sacred within your work, the sacred beauty within your work, for you to bring blessings of light, of comfort, of healing, and renewal to all who encounter you throughout your working day. Know it is blessed to find dissatisfaction too. It's blessed to be dissatisfied too, and that this discontent can drive you forth into the arms of the next place that has the need for your skills and practice. May your work bring to you blessings and never leave you tired beyond what you can do. Oh, I felt that one. May those who receive the work you do be uplifted and never fail to offer you their thanks and gratitude, so you know that all has come full circle. It's nice getting paid too. May you be mindful in your work, available and present for those who seek your help, and may this focus refresh and reawaken you to your value each day. May each day begin with anticipation for the unknown work you will do, and may it end with the satisfaction of knowing that you brought your gifts to the day and changed it for the better. Thanks to the work of your own two hands. What a personal blessing for me. Breathe. For the well-being of all of us, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So motivate. And blessed be. That was lovely. That was lovely. Yeah, we got a couple of womp womps in here, but it's a shadow read, but you can do this. You can endure this. So if you liked it, please hit the thumbs up and help the other Leos find it. Come on. How many magical children could be making big differences in the world, but they're in the shadow, and that's okay. It's what we do in the shadows, Nandor. And if you want more of me here on YouTube, by all means, subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I might be doing jury duty. I find out tomorrow after 5 p.m. I gotta call and see if I gotta go in on Monday just to sit there and then plead my case to not have to, but whatever, I've done it before, I'll do it again. And if you want, I know it's an honor, I know I was raised by a lawyer, but if you want the deeper dive, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Malcolm, Patreon, on Patreon, I'm serious, I don't care what my jury schedule is. If I have to sit, I will be there every morning, and I will do my best to put out content every single day there. Why? Because I am the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but my Leos just call me Mal, and I love you. And if you want to book me for a private reading, it is simple enough to do. There is a link in the description box to a video called Booking a Reading with Mal. What a coincidence that it happens to be about me. All right, I made it. Explains everything you ever wanted to know about booking a reading with Mal, but we're afraid to ask, and maybe next year I will make a new one. We'll see. You're a lot of fun and you're very creative, so endure this and let that magical child have some space in the outside world while you go in to embrace it in the inside world. I love you. Hang in there. Have the shadow work. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.